Welcome back to another 734 FSC video. Today we're going to be taking the front end off the CR250 and rebuilding the front forks because someone was a dummy when they rebuilt their forks the first time and tore the fork seals on install. So we're going to rebuild them again today. So we have all of our tools and parts laid out. We're using a all balls seal kit, a Motion Pro fork bullet, and a Motion Pro fork seal driver. So that should get the job done for us. Before we go, Shop Dog wants some camera time. Now that we got this second fork out, we're going to take a quick moment for a break from our sponsor. Nobody, because it comes out of my pocket. Now that we have these removed, we're ready to start replacing seals, but to do that, we need to drain the oil out of the forks. So I'm going to pop out this bolt, maybe. One moment. Okay. Now that we're using 21st century tools, we should be able to pop this on out. Look at that. Alright, so now that we have this fork fully disassembled, I'm going to go ahead and remove the bushings and then the washer, and then pull the fork seal, the snap ring, and the dust seal. So now that those are off, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down this whole fork tube, get any contaminants off of the tube. There are some wear marks on this tube, but we're going to live with it and definitely just going to run it. So at this point, the fork tube is cleaned, the bushings, washer, seal, snap ring are all removed. Now we get into the fun part of reassembly of this fork. So we have our fork bullet on top of the fork tube. We're going to install the wiper seal. Get that down on there. We're going to throw the snap ring on here. Then we're going to install the fork seal. And now that all these are on, we can put our washer back on. We can put our first bushing back on. And our second bushing. Those are all on, we can start reassembly of the fork. Alright, so we're reinsert the fork tube down into here. I'll go ahead and pull that snap ring up a bit. Go! Then we're going to use our fork seal tool. Now we're going to set this seal. I think that should be enough. Now reset the snap ring. So with the fork seal and wiper seal installed, now we're going to reinsert the spring and then the inner chamber of the fork. We're going to flip this upside down. Put the cap for the inner tube back on after we install this rod. Now I need a wrench. So when putting this fork cap on, it is directional. You'll see rounded side and a flat side. That correlates with that rod we just inserted. Going to snug that up. Now that that cap's on, we can tighten the top. Okay, so now that the fork is assembled, it's time to fill it with oil. It calls for 372 milliliters, so that's 12.57 ounces. So we're going to do our best to eyeball 12.5 ounces here. Right at about 12.5. Torvig it down. So now we are going to fill the fork.
You stroke that thing so good.
That's what I'm good at. Alright, so now we're gonna try and bleed some of the air out. Dump the last little bit of this fork oil in there. So now it is time to tighten down the top cap and get this fork all dialed in. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on the vise, tighten the top cap, and then set the dampening and rebound. So now that the fork is in the vise, we're gonna go ahead and finish tightening down the top cap. Which I might need Hunter's help to hold the fork because it keeps slipping a little. So now it's time to set the dampening and the compression, and during teardown of the forks, I counted how many clicks each of those had and wrote them down on our shop rag right here. So we're gonna go ahead and set this one to 13 and the bottom one to 10 clicks. So go ahead and get that done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 there. Flip this upside down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this fork is all set up and good to go. Now it's time to do the other fork. Okay, so we went ahead and reassembled the second fork off camera. Now it's time to install the fork onto the bike. So we're gonna go ahead and slide those forks into the triple trees, tighten those down, slide in the front wheel, attach the caliper, mount the brake line, get everything tidied up and ready to go. forks are rebuilt. We reinstalled the front end, putting the forks into the triple trees, mounting the brake line to the fork, mounting the caliper to the fork, reinstalling the front wheel, and this thing is ready to go now. So thank you guys for watching the front end rebuild on the 01 CR250. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, leave a comment for us. Anything helps, guys.